Good morning, everybody. It is 8:10 a.m. It is May 9th. Welcome to my channel. Market is just bouncing. As I stated before, we're at the most traded price of this year in the ES, and we're at the most traded price of this year and the rolling year in the NASDAQ. We're below that price, actually. We're right at it in the ES, balancing off. Now, this week's been very low volume. This week, we don't have a lot of data coming out, just Fed speak. So, next week is CPI again. Maybe the market's just waiting for CPI because this low volume and we just came off big buying, right? A little frothy. So either the market's going to correct or it's going to move sideways, and it's moving sideways. So, and the volatility is going down. The volume is low. I still possibly might think there could be a pullback coming, but who knows, right? Nobody really knows that for sure. You never know the timing of things, so very hard to predict. Anyway, without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use volume profile, market profile to find structure in the markets, along with gamma exposure levels, supply and demand, most traded price of the year, the rolling month, the rolling week, the previous day. Okay, this just helps me find structure in the market, helps me game plan. I do that around 8:30 a.m. and basically I do a live, and I'll give trade scenarios, what I would like to see that make me interested, right? As well as you're going to learn about what's going on in the news, what's driving stocks, what stocks are leading, what stocks are lagging, and bring up some news. And that's what I do pretty much every day. So if you're new, welcome. And of course, subscribe and set an alert if you haven't already. Of course, you don't have to do it now, but you can give me a big thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. And you can always follow me on X at Gonzo719. I think we can get right into the futures watch list here. The VIX. The VIX is up 2%. It's up to 13.27, which is not a lot of fear. Okay. Silver is up 1.25. Crude, but kind of bottoming out, hitting the 200-day moving average. 100-day moving average did hit that most traded price of the year. Israel's still not looking for peace talks, and China just got some unexpected growth. So that's going to help push crude. Don't know how far, but that's going to help push crude. Dollar is up 0.12. 10-year yield hasn't reported yet, but should rise. Gold is flat. ES is down 0.21. NASDAQ down 0.24. Dow's down 0.25. Russell down 0.30. 30-year bonds being sold. That should make yields rise again. That's going to put weight on the market. Dollar's up too. Part of the triple-headed monster. All right. Ether's down 0.53. Bitcoin down 1.6. All right. Let's look at the Mag 7 Plus. Leader is Baba. Okay. Baba just like broke out of a big base, pulled back. It's just hard to trust Baba. Netflix has been on a tear. It's up 0.22, which is not much. Hit a trend line yesterday and kind of sold off. That might cool off a little bit. It's at a large high volume node that might be more profit taking coming. Snow. Let's just go into any lagger here. AMD down 0.49. Tesla's down 0.7. Coin down 0.89. Roblox, woof, down 28.26%. Boy. They're supposed to report earnings before the open today. So I'm assuming they did, and they're not good. I mean, it doesn't say any results here. I'm assuming they reported and it wasn't good. Okay, so moving on to top sector stocks. Okay, leader Qualcomm down 0.91. Up 0.91. Costco's up 0.47. Chevron up 0.18. Laggard We got Walmart down 0.33. Salesforce down 2%. Why is Salesforce down? Their earnings isn't until 5/29, but Salesforce is down. We might find about a little bit why that is a little later. All right, let's go to swing trade list. Who's leading? Yeti. Yeti reported earnings, had good earnings. Hood also, okay, up 5.43%. Affirm, they reported earnings, up 1.96. Trade Desk, they reported earnings, up 1.43. ServiceNow is up 0.97. Laggard, you got Roblox down even more. Jesus, they're down 30.82. Airbnb down 8.52. ARM down 8.03. AMC down. They reported earnings down 3.45. Mara's down 2.34. Unity Software, Harley Davidson, Riot, PanW, all down. ARC down. MicroStrategy. Okay, that's what's going on there. Go to sectors. Let's see what's driving this right now. Real estate is the leader, which is usually not a good thing for the stock market. And it doesn't move the market, so it's kind of inconsequential. Let's see here. Discretionary down 0.06, semis down 0.05, financials down 0.07, XLK down 1.8, and utilities is down 0.26. Okay, that is our watch list update. All right, now we can move on to economic calendar, news, earnings. Remember, economic calendar is very light. But today we do have the 30-year bond auction at 1 o'clock. I usually am not trading it at that point. We have initial jobless claims that comes up at 8:30. Okay, today we're expecting a 211 initial jobless claims, 211,000. Okay, let's see what happens here. Now, if you get over that number, you could see a little boost in the market. If you get under, that will be negative for the market. Okay, 30-year bond auction expecting 4.67%. See how that works. Fed daily speak to at 2 p.m. Okay, still a light day, a light day in data, a light week in data. Because next week, that's when you have I don't know why PPI is reporting on Tuesday. CPI is Wednesday. Okay, so that's what's the data heats up next week. Okay. All right, let's look at some news. Talked about ARM. ARM slumped 7.5% after the chip designer delivered annual rental guidance. Hood stock rose 5.3%. The trading platform posted first quarter earnings revenue above expectations. Boeing stock fell after 767 cargo plane was forced to make an emergency. That they're just not doing good. Airbnb down 9.3. Warner Brothers down 4. Okay. There's Yeti talked about that at Papa John stock fell 0.4. That's what's going on there. Now, any upgrades and downgrades to talk about? Cheesecake Factory got an upgrade. What else? Shopify got 2 upgrades. All right, price target of 80, price target of 63. Affirm got an upgrade from 41 to 43. Downgrades: Skyworks got a downgrade. TripAdvisor got a downgrade. And then anything else here? Anything to note? Not really. Not really. Let me check one more thing. Alright, I think we're done with that. And let's look at earnings real quick. So you can see yesterday at the close, ARM, Hood, Airbnb, AMC, Trade Desk, Beyond Meat, Duolingo all reported. Before the open today, Roblox, Warner Brothers, Plug, Kronos all reported today after the close. Mara, SoundHound, Unity. That's what you got going for today. Tomorrow's AMC networks before the open. Okay. All right, I think that wraps up that. can move on here to daily charts. Let's do our daily charts here. Let's see what we're going to have going on here. All right. So, previous day, like I said, hit and was over the most traded price. You can see all this congestion to your left, right? Slowing down the market. Okay, yesterday opened here, closed kind of at the middle of the previous day session, right? Now, where are we at now? 516.50. Not doing us any favors. We're right in the middle of yesterday's session. Not a great place to be for a trade. Okay, so that's what's going on there. Let's look at the futures. You can see this sideways. Okay. Why is that? We're at the most traded price. We're below the most traded price of the year. Okay, that's going to slow it down. Look at all these candles. Look at all these candles. I mean, it's just traffic. Now, we're going to get a move from here. Now, this could happen all week. We do this. We could even push down here and maybe come back up here. Balance off for CPI next week, and then you just rip up or rip down. Okay, holding above the 50. Okay, so that's really what's going on there. Now, go to the Qs. The Qs, same thing, right? Look at the left. Look to the left. Look at all this congestion. We tipped right here the most traded price of the last year and the rolling year and this year. I just said three different things. It's from a year ago today, this is the most traded price. From this year, this is the most traded price. Okay, so we tipped it here. And then yesterday we opened here, pushed up, and then, came down here, but then we closed here. So we're balancing as well here. Nothing really to see. We're at 439.46, right in the middle of yesterday's range. Really not a great place to be. All right, holding the 50. 50's flat. You can see with a flat 50-day moving average, that tells you a lot. What you need to know. That last 50 days, it's just flat. Flat. Look at the 20-day. Flat. Okay, just showing you what we've it's just flat. Okay, now let's look at the futures. Okay, look at that 50-day moving average in futures. Flat, right? And you got this big trend line that we tipped, boop, and we're just making lower highs here. Like I said, we could potentially test last week's highs, maybe even dip down to the 90 MA daily. Okay. The NASDAQ, you got a little more of a sloping 20-day, a rising 9. Okay. But like I said, this could be this way for the rest of the week because of no data really coming out this week that could shock the market. Maybe 30-year bond auction, I don't know. If it's really a shocker, not sure. All right, now let's move on. And that was your daily charts. Okay, now let's go on to our triple-headed monster. And that's our 10-year yield, and that has reported. So that should be a rise in yields here. And we do. So the 10-year yield is up another 0.40%. Okay, so right now all three triple-headed monsters are rising, which usually doesn't bode well for the markets. I mean, they're not skyrocketing. So, however, I said, look at this here. Swing low, swing low, swing low, swing low. So lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Now you got a lower high. Are we going to go back up? Are we going to push right back up? CPI can help that next week. Push right back up. That should put more weight on the markets. Now, May is typically seasonally weak. But since we've had a bullish April, some people say that I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Weak April. Some people say that that could cause a stronger May, but usually it's sell in May and go away. Who knows, right? So you got your 10-year yield. Let's look at that dollar. The dollar's rising as well. See the same thing, right? Swing low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and now look, dollar's rising. So this is all going to put weight. It's not really good for commodities. Not really good for equities when the dollar's rising, the yields are rising. Okay, especially not the Russell. Okay, and this VIX is still kind of weak though. This is 30 days out of fear. That's the VIX, 30 days out. Okay, now here's our VIX. So we bottomed out yesterday. Look, we're rising. See, that's why I'm saying we closed here. Now we're up here. You really need to get above like 15 to get some kind of oomph in this market. Otherwise, there's not much fear. Okay, you need the VIX to cooperate with the 10-year yield and the dollar. You need it to rip up, but we'll see. I'm not expecting much. Volume's weak again. Volume is still weak. All right, moving on. We're gonna go talk about structure now. Now I've talked about the high volume nodes will slow down this market, and that's what's happened. Maybe you can see it cleaner on this shot here. I'm going to show you right here what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm the cleaner view of it. So here's the ES with a volume profile. And see this big large node here? That's where we're at. Right here. That's why we stopped there. Okay. And you can see the NASDAQ monster volume. You see that? That's why we stopped there. So we really nipped at it, and now we're balancing, right? It's the most traded price. Okay. Another way to look at it is here. Look at that volume. Huge. Huge. Okay, so that's going to slow down this market. And the ES, same thing. Most traded price of this year. We're right on it. Should slow the market down. Okay, and it's exactly what's expected. It's exactly what's happening. And show you one thing in crude. In crude here, here's that most traded price. Look how it bounced off this trend line, off the 100-day moving average, and now you got a little rise up. So we'll see what happens in crude. Let me just fix these. And then we'll get right into the market profile. Right here. Okay. This is where we do our work. This is where I look at the chart in 2 seconds and just look at it and go, all right, this is what's going on with the market. I can zoom in this now. Very low volume this week. So let's look at structure. All right, so you have a big explosion up here, and now we have volume. Okay, and what's happened? Most traded prices moved up higher at 52.14. Worst price below it. This green box is the most traded price of the year. We're right there. 52.06, I believe, is the most traded price of this year. So that's been expected, right? So we now have, most traded prices of the week and basically the year all equal, and prices right there. So we're coiling up. Okay, this is still bullish because what did we've lost? Not much. Okay, not much. Okay, but we do have a little micro range here we're working with. Okay, so all right, we just got data came out. Jobless claims. Now I'm going to assume for the initial burst Let's just see. So that is bullish, and that would think, oh, cuts. People could think cuts. So jobless claims were 231, forecasted for 211. So that is bullish in this market. I don't know how bullish that's going to be. That's given a little jolt to the markets right now. All right. I don't know how much staying power that has, but that's what's going on. Back back to our chart here. Okay, like I said, I don't know how bullish and crazy bullish that's going to be, because we're just in this tight consolidation, right? I don't think that's enough to move us out of it. I'd be surprised. All right, so we are in supply right now. Okay, and we're right here. We just were here. Now we're right here just because of that news. Let the dust settle from this news. All right, now we do have a weak high here around 52.17, 52.18. That does line up with the most traded price of the week. So 52.18 is a key area for the bears to defend. Okay, and down here around 50, was that 51.91, happens to be the midpoint of this session where we just broke out. It happens to be this area here. That's been being defended, the 50% of this day. Okay, so you got 52.18.19 to 51.91. That's our range. Okay, I expect us to test this, right, until something breaks, right? I don't think the odds are high that we break out of it, just because I don't know what would be the catalyst. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at. Now, the inventory, this is your longs to your shorts. That doesn't mean anything right now. This is the mid of yesterday, right here. Price is here. Okay, you're just not in a great place. You're in the middle of the muck right here, right now. It's not a great place. Okay, so really easy today. Really, really easy. I think it's a fade the edges kind of market right now. So if we go into a scenario, right now, you talking bull? Like I said, this is defense for the bulls. This area, right here. You come down here, price comes down. You got to see what happens down here. You get a little bear trap. People think, oh my God, it's selling off. You bounce. Then you go back to the mean, right? Right here. You can go back to the other side. Okay, very easy today. Now, conversely, the bear, right? You're getting some excess at the top here. Okay, this definitely can be a little bull trap here as well. You got a lot of supply, overhead supply up here. A lot of overhead supply. Okay, you could easily pop up here. Bulls think they're breaking out. You get a lower high, you roll back, and then you test this side. Okay, now, can we break out? Sure. Sure. I think some steam has come out of that, but you never know. We're getting some excess now, which probably means it might be the end of the run here for this little move up, because you really got heavy supply here. Okay, that's what we're looking at in the ES. Now we can look at the NASDAQ. Okay, let's see what the NASDAQ's stacking up. Okay, we can zoom this in pretty good now to the NASDAQ and see what's going on. NASDAQ has actually a little more of a balanced profile here. Distribution here, distribution here. Okay, you can see this green is the most traded price of the last year and this year. We're below it, right? Most traded price of the week is around 180, 181.97. Call it 182, right here. Price is right there. You just got a little pop up, a little excess, right? That could be profit taking now, and we could start to move back through here. Okay, that news gave, like I said, gave a little jolts to bulls. All right, you actually broke this supply. That was broken. Okay, now, like I said, most traded price of the year up here, most traded price of the week here, price right below it, right? In structure, that would be a little bearish. Okay, we just have to see. You also have a range here. Okay, not as clean. You don't have that weak high that you have in the other market. Okay, actually, you do have a little. I would give you a little bit of a weak high here because look, this is important. So yesterday's value area, which is 70% of yesterday's trade, was in this area. Okay, look where overnight high is, right with yesterday's value area high. So now that's weak. That's a weak high. Okay, you come up here, boom. That could be a little resistance or a breakout. You can't look at it just as a breakout point. It could be resistance, right? This is also the most traded price of this week, of the rolling week. So, but we're inside yesterday's session. Look at the high. Look at the low. Overnight high, overnight low. We're inside yesterday's session. Kind of in the middle of it. So, really not great trade location at all. Okay, so you have a demand. You have bulls defense has to come from here. And you can tell this market NASDAQ is weaker because look at this midpoint of that big move up. We already have went below that. You haven't done that in the ES. So basically 180.74 is a weak low here. Okay. And then above us, we don't have really you have a high that nipped the most traded price for this year. Okay. Tried to come up there yesterday, failed. You do have lower highs and lower highs. Okay. But this point could be a break lower. That could happen, right? I just don't know what would be the catalyst this week. That's what I'm saying. So, if we look at scenarios for the NASDAQ, and I'll be honest with you, this week is really, the trading opportunities are not great. You're not getting great movement. It's the market gets mixed. The market's not super strong or super weak. And it's classic because we're in balance. I mean, this is what's happening. Nothing's like all strong, right? Nvidia is not going nuts today, right? It's not. So let's get into it. Okay, same thing here. Here's your area. Basically this demand zone right here. That's the area for bulls to defend. Okay. So if we come up, boom, right? And we come down here, that's where you got to defend. If you break that, you're going to go lower to 18,000. All right. I'd say probability is we defend it. Probably go back, right? All right. Now, conversely, very easy. And I said, this is just probability. Could we break out lower or higher today? Sure. I think the odds are low. Okay, so you're at the top of this range. You need to see what we do. How do we handle this weak high here? The value area high from yesterday and the overnight high. How do we handle that? How do we handle this? Do we pop up to this supply, make a lower high, come back through? Now this would be key. Look at the most traded price of the overnights right here. Okay, majority of trades have acted there. Okay, so if you come through, and this is the most traded price of yesterday, so if you come through this level, and this is the value area low from yesterday, so 70% of the trades, if you break that, you're definitely gonna test this area. Right, and this is really key. Could be a bear trap. However, if you break that, you could make yourself down here. Okay, but I don't, like I said, it's so choppy here. Who knows? I think the market's just going to be mixed. Like the real estate's leading the charge right now. I mean, they're not moving the market, but they're the strongest sector, a defensive sector. That's kind of weird, right? I think that's it for me today. All right, so hope hope everybody enjoyed that analysis. Like I said, it's very simple today. Very, very simple. All right, so that's it. Hope everybody stays patient. Got the plan, right? Subscribe if you haven't already. Set an alert, right? Hope you learned something today. If you're not, if you are confused on anything, of course, always leave me a comment, or right, I will answer it. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. All right, that's much appreciated. You could always follow me on X at Gonzo719. And like I said, I don't expect much out of the market. Now the market's pushing up right now. It's pushing up to the top of the range. Like I said, that would probably make me think I want to see failure to go the other way. But like I said, could it break out today? Maybe. But we'll see. All right, everybody. Have a great day, and I'll see you everybody tomorrow.